Hey Jaguars, Miss Ham here. I just wanted to let you guys know that we are almost finished with our study of American history through Johnston Community College. I wanted to let you guys know how incredibly proud I am of you. You guys have done a really great job this semester learning, reflecting, and collaborating as we have discussed how American society has changed as a result of conflict and compromise throughout history. What we're going to do is we are going to be focusing today specifically on the final assessment requirements. You will notice that if you return back to our syllabus that there was originally a 1-week period for you all to complete this assessment. I have made a modification and I am going to give you 2 weeks to complete this assessment. However, in saying this, we are going to be very specific in the steps that we are going to take to ensure your success. So the 4 steps that we are going to take is we are going to be taking some time to review prior learning evidence. We're going to be outlining key ideas throughout this course. You're going to be responsible for submitting a rough draft and providing peer feedback to other members of your class, and then you will be required to submit your final submission. When looking at the specifications for this assessment, you guys will be continuing to address, and for the final time, this guiding question throughout this course. So you will be asked to articulate your knowledge and connections from previous coursework to determine how conflict and compromise have contributed to the development of political, socioeconomic, and cultural aspects of American society. Again, this paper should be the culmination or should be the big paper that covers all of the ideas that we have talked about throughout this course. What I'm not looking for is a summary of the course. What I am looking for is I would like to see from you what connections have you been able to make about the key terms conflict and compromise as it relates to the political, socioeconomic, and cultural aspects of American society. This final unit assessment will look a little bit different than your unit assessments as it is expected to cover all 3 aspects of the lens of history that we have been talking about, and this should help you bridge your understanding of the impact of historical events from the Age of Discovery through 1877. The length of this assignment should be 1,000 words or more. This should be a total of 4 to 6 pages, double-spaced. Please do not exceed the 6-page limit, as it is important to remember that as historians and writers that we need to be succinct and precise in the ideas that we communicate. And in addition, we will be requiring an MLA format, so please make sure that you have reviewed the MLA format cheat sheet and that you are following those specifications. Now, the next phase of this learning, we are going to be spending a few minutes just reviewing each phase that you guys are going to be going through over the next 2.5 weeks. The first thing that you're going to do is you are going to be asked to review prior learning evidence. Learning evidence for this course might include inquisitive assignments, discussion boards, or unit assessments. It may also include peer feedback or feedback from your instructor. So I want to remind you that as you're looking at learning evidence, this course was designed with you in mind. In saying that, I understand that your final assessment is coming up. However, I'm not asking you to recreate new ideas. What I'm asking you to do is go back through your prior learning evidence, figure out which ideas that you have learned throughout this course stick out to you the most as you think about the overall understanding of politics, culture, and socioeconomics as it relates to conflict and compromise in American culture. From there, then you are going to be asked to outline those key ideas. A quick snapshot of the unit assessments that you guys have done. Unit assessment 1 is going to be covered chapter 1 through 4. This was a one lens focus that you chose, and it also embedded a unit reflection. Unit 2 assessment covered chapters 5 through 10. Unit 3 assessment covered chapters 10 through 15. This final assessment should cover chapters 1 through 15. It should focus on all 3 lenses of history, which include political, socioeconomic, and cultural. And this should serve as a whole course reflection. So essentially, you could take all 3 of these big papers, pick out the big ideas, and then begin outlining again as you address that essential question or that driving question of how have conflict and compromise contributed to the development of political, economic, and cultural aspects of American history. Phase 2 of your learning is where you will be outlining your key ideas. When we talk about organizing ideas, it is really, really important that before you begin writing, you make sure that you understand what you are going to write. Throughout this course, there have been several of you guys that have received this type of pre-writing as a strategy. I would encourage all of you and require all of you for this final assessment to complete a learning outline. What I would like for you to do is I would like for you to click this link, and it's going to take you to various resources that are going to include information about how to outline, what should be included in your outline, the various ways to outline, as well as different explanations and ways to engage with the content. I am not really concerned about how you want to organize your outline. That is completely up to you. But what I should see when you submit this pre-writing phase of this assessment, or this phase 2 of this final learning assessment, is I should see a framework or a skeleton of what is going to be in your final paper. All right. As we move into phase 3 of our learning evidence, this is where you are going to be required to complete a rough draft. Remember that your rough draft should simply be that. It should be your ideas written down on paper, and it should align with the beginning ideas of your outline. It is okay that as you are writing that you change and reorganize some of the ideas that you are sharing. Now, this is going to be a little bit different for you and will be a little bit more of the same for you, as you are going to be required to submit your rough draft in a discussion board format. From there, you will submit your rough draft, and your peers will be providing pieces of supporting evidence or supporting feedback to you, giving you constructive feedback to help you improve and to help you focus in on your work. I want you to understand that as a learner, feedback is extremely important. It's what helps us grow, it's what helps us learn, it's what helps us really, really dig deep and understand the content. I would also ask that you take a few minutes to review this link to learn about the power of feedback, as well as the process of feedback as historians and writers. And just so you guys know, there are a couple of videos that are embedded in this PowerPoint that will be available to you once it is posted on Blackboard. And then the final phase of our learning submission is going to be to go ahead and complete that final submission after revising your work from peer feedback and submitting it into Blackboard. The final due date for this assignment will be on the 1st of December at 11:59 p.m. This is going to be the major outline for what is expected of you for this final course assessment. Okay, so again, just reviewing what we just talked about. For step number 1, or phase number 1 of this final assessment, you are going to be required to review prior learning evidence. Okay, you will not have to submit any learning evidence from this particular phase. Phase number 2, you'll be outlining key ideas. This outline will be due in Blackboard on the 20th of November at 11:59 p.m. The third phase of your final assessment will be to complete your rough draft. This rough draft will be due on the 23rd of November at 11:59 p.m. And then peer feedback to at least 2 peers will be due on the 24th of November at 11:59 p.m. Then you will have over a week to make sure that you have had the time to fine-tune your assessment, that you've articulated exactly what you want to articulate, and you will submit this in Blackboard on December 1st at 11:59 p.m. After that date, we'll have a couple of days just to reflect on grades, make sure that we are all on the same page, and to celebrate all of the work and the learning that you guys have accomplished this semester. I said it at the beginning, I've said it throughout the semester, and I'm going to say it again today. I am extremely proud of you. You have all shown tremendous growth throughout this course, and I'm really excited to continue to stay connected as you continue to learn and grow through your experience at Johnston Community College.